Don't forget the Patreon's still a thing. I really should say this more often. Alright, wonderful viewers, it is time for the final part of ACReinhardt's commission, Bark the Polar Bear. As you all remember from Sonic the Fighters, and currently only featured in the comic book because he hasn't been playable in the game except for Sonic the Fighters. So, just like last time I made Bark the Polar Bear forever ago, he is an amalgam figure made up of a couple of parts. So there is a Storm the Albatross, Dr. Eggman, and Knuckles' face. All dismantled and cut apart. This is basically what I used. Well, most of it anyway. I would remove some more stuff. Let's start with Storm's hands. I just had to sculpt over the fingers to make them look like the mitten/boxing gloves that he wears, and then repaint them and attach them to the arms. The fit is not completely elegant, but you can jam Storm's arms into the shoulder holes on the Eggman body. They don't fall out unless you kind of wiggle them out, but they stay in there pretty decently. Although you do have to take Eggman's legs and cut them short, and then stick Storm's feet on the end of them, because Storm's leg pegs do not fit into Eggman's hip holes. Hip holes. That's funny. Alright, so let's do the weird part. So, this part always kind of makes me feel like some kind of demented serial killer. Because, you know, it's like cutting off two characters' faces and then sticking one face on the other cranium, which is just kind of, you know, ooky. It looks weird. I know I'm in the business of cutting apart action figures and putting them back together again, but this is just weird looking at this point. Of course, once you reattach it to the body and sculpt everything nice and round, it really starts to look more like Bark. You know, he has his hat, his ears, his epic upturned ponytail, his sideburn dreads, and he even has bangs, which I used made out of Amy Rose's bangs because, you know, it's better to just have three little bangs instead of trying to sculpt them because they'll be shaped weird. From the back, you can see these sculpting details that went into the scarf, and then I just kind of painted the torso. You know, like, you know, it's green scarf, white belly fur, and the rest of his body is that peach color. It's actually the one I use for skin tone, but it looks like that pale white that polar bear fur is. So you've already seen the head sculpted, and by the time it was repainted, it was already reattached to the head body. So let's just take a look at Bark completed. And here we go. Bark the polar bear, fighter, bounty hunter, friend of Bean, the dynamite duck, who pals around with Knack. I forget what the name of their team is. Team something. I don't know. Knack the Weasel is the leading team. I don't know. It's just it's Bark the polar bear. He's a big bear. Bear. I don't know why, but bear. That sounds funny to me. Bear. It's such a weird name. Like who was the guy that just saw this gigantic looming animal and just decided to call it a bear? Is that the terrified scream he made as he ran away from it? Like is there really a complicated name you can get to something that terrifies you? I don't know. Anyway, so, like, this was the final piece of the commission. You know, he had Rouge and cream and cheese, so, you know, we got the whole ensemble that I made for him right here. So, with that done, it is time for me to let you all go. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for another one coming very soon.